I say, what's the big idea bashing me on the noggin with a rolling pin? Clunk enough people and we'll have a nation of lumpheads.
And now, back to the Big Dumb Fun Show.
Back on the Big Dumb Fun Show, hanging out in studio with the band members from Alice, Sweet Alice.
It's so sweet.
Absolutely.
Our sports guy, sports with a guy named Chris on deck.
He's on deck. Get ready, Chris. We're going to be coming at you here in just a few. But right now, the focus is totally on the three gentlemen joining us from Alice, Sweet Alice. And, you know, you mentioned during the break that Allison, Sweet Allison, not joining us in studio. And what's her
What the
problem?
heezy?
What's going
What's the
on?
deal?
Here?
She
What's the
has
deal?
kids at the house.
Oh, that's what they
So
all
she has
say.
her most important job is
Yeah.
she's doing right now.
Yeah.
She's too much of a star.
Yeah, she's a diva.
She's a diva.
Absolutely. No, but you were saying that the band has been around a while, or at least you've been around a while with this idea in your head about I want to put this band together, and that you were seeking out a female vocalist. Like,
Yes.
what do you think the female vocalist will bring to your band that you wanted? Like that you're like, I want a female vocalist.
Well,
on the
some of
band.
my favorite bands have had female vocalists, like Garbage, Susie and the Banshees. Just I don't know. I've always liked bands with female vocalists. Fleetwood Mac. I don't know. I just always liked that, and I have an okay voice. I just kind of did it just because I was the only one around at the time to do vocals.
Keeps
and
you
so,
from having to sing so high.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. so I looked. I wanted a
your
female
falsetto?
vocalist, and I.
Microphones in the shower.
Yeah. So then I got on Band Mix actually, and that's how I found Allison, and I just sent her some stuff, and we just basically collaborated online for the first couple years, and then I said, forget this, I just want to make this 3D. I want to get out of Maine. I was in Maine at the time.
So you never did your music next to each other. It was online, so the internet.
Ooh,
Yep.
the
Basically.
interwebs.
All internet. Yeah,
Yeah.
we sent files back and forth, and we, in fact, our first guitarist was in Hawaii. So that was pretty challenging with all those
Yeah.
different time zones.
Isn't
and
that
everything like that.
fascinating how that's changed?
Yeah, it was
like
incredible.
10 years from now, I think
Yeah.
you were talking earlier
Just,
about having this show.
Like none of this would have happened, just like the fact that we can do that, and the fact that you can have a recording studio in your house, like you never would have thought that,
Right.
And I say 10 years ago, maybe more like 15, that you're just like, oh my gosh, this is happening.
The world is a lot smaller than
absolutely,
it used to be.
and it's such a weird parallel because when we were looking for a female co-host, we got one off Match.com.
and he's not pointing over here, so don't put that hand away.
Sorry, I'll keep it under the table. But tell us about the new album. We listened to a couple tracks off of it so far.
Yes, and, it's called Mandala. It was totally recorded, produced by us, recorded at Audio Cave Recording Studio
Fantastic.
in North Kansas City, which is our recording studio, which we record a lot of local bands at. And it's a 7-song CD. It's like 35 minutes, and we did it that way because we're all big vinyl fans, and we eventually want to release it on vinyl. So, and we kind of missed the days where, you used to like sit down on your bed with the vinyl and you'd listen to side one and there was that pause to side two. So the CD is actually kind of put together like that. It almost has 2 acts,
Cool.
so to speak. And the whole idea of Mandala is sort of a meditative thing. And the thing about it as well is that the world moves so fast, being small, but it still moves so fast, and we kind of want people to slow down a little bit and really listen to the music and really enjoy it rather than stick their earbuds in and go down the street, and it's sort of a peripheral thing that happens. We want people to really become involved and engaged in the music, and in fact, on as part of the CD artwork, there's like mandalas that you can color in and stuff like that. And I
coloring books?
You coloring books in there,
that's
and
awesome.
and if you color those in and send them in to us, we'll give you
It's a
I don't know, like
devilish
we'll give you
message.
like unreleased songs, and we're gonna use like
Nice.
the artwork for like special releases of the next album with like the fan artwork, on the inside
So
and
do
stuff
you-
like that.
In,
So
in the kind of a vinyl thing, can you play it backwards and some weird stuff happen, or is there
Oh,
like hidden tracks and
we'll
stuff
never
like that?
tell. We'll never tell.
You know what? That's so fascinating about you, because you were just talking about being at the Granada, how you just made an event, and then now you're doing your CD track with coloring items. I think that's very fascinating because your guys' thought process is more about making it an event, making it something where everyone actually, it's personalized and interactive, and that's really cool because you're not just throwing a song out here, promoting, going to this red carpet, listen, do it, move on type situation, and that's neat.
When I was a kid, it's like a lot of my favorite bands and the bands that really, really just captivated me. It was just like they were part of my life. You know what I mean? It's like, and I kind of. I just wanted to kind of just give people that opportunity. And I know a lot of people are spending a little bit more time. They're slowing down a little bit. They're having listening parties with vinyl, and they're getting better. I mean, hi-fis, here I am dating myself, are getting cheaper, and they're getting better. People are actually buying those old big ones like that grandma used to have, and they're like putting like really cool components in there.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of people are actually kind of moving toward that direction somewhat.
Yeah,
the CD, because CD sales have gone down so much. It's either digital downloads, vinyl is kind of coming back. It's like what's old is new again. So I don't know. We're just kind of trying to play with that a little bit. But
does that mean you can't get Alice, Sweet Alice on iTunes?
You can get it. Yes, you can get us everywhere around the world. We're in over 600 stores worldwide. We just got into Japan and China, which is very difficult to get into.
Yeah.
And you sell your music on your website?
We sell it on our website.
In Japan. In China.
I'm actually like Elvis in China right now.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
So I could, but it's in. I find it.
So do you have an Elvis dance move?
Sort of. I'm still working on it.
Let's get the back camera
It's more James Brown. It's actually more James Brown than Elvis.
Yeah.
With the mic stand. You know.
Small little steps.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that's it took me a while to actually come up with try to find a record player. Once I found like this album, I absolutely had to wrap my head around, and I was like, oh, I get this. I had to go to the thrift stores, trying to find one. You need a needle. It's kind of tough to get out.
Then
there
you got to clean it.
Then you got to clean it. But by God, I did. And Alvin and the Chipmunks have never sounded better.
Talking about?
I finally got.
No, you're supposed to play it at 33 and a third, not 78.
Venkman, that was the Beach Boys.
That was the Beach Boys.
So they were talking in the chat room. They got the guys from KC.radio.com saying that the Silver Starlets were at your show.
Yes.
And the Girls LLC. Silver Starlets. They were at Comic-Con. Like, they're everywhere, too.
Oh, my gosh.
They're having it hard this year, just like you guys
That
are.
day, Karen, the owner, she said that they were like at 3 events that day. Yeah. So
somewhere there's an empty lingerie shop.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Rest Stop Sports and Massage from Lawrence.
Yeah,
as well.
they were there.
I just think this is cool. It is kind of like a little miniature trade show, and you get your drink on, and you go talk to some new folks, maybe buy a product that you may or may not know about, and of course you get to catch a cool show, buy a CD,
and win some prizes.
And win some prizes.
Absolutely.
Win $500.
We played track 1 and track 3. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
21st Century Slavery was sort of about me leaving my job and doing the recording studio full time. It was sort of like I just wrote it, kind of saying, man, I was just so tired of my job, and I moved here. The first 2 years, I had to work, because I paid cash for all my recording equipment and everything, and it was a real rough couple of years.
I think it could be a tax write-off now, though. We should ask.
I know. We should ask the tax girl.
But
call her back.
so that's sort of what that song's about. And Full Circle, Allison wrote the lyrics to that, and that's just sort of everybody's gone through something like that,
And I believe she's actually in the chat room right now.
Is she? Cool. Yeah, she probably is.
Well, she's.
We've got. If it's all right with you guys, we could play one more track from you for sure.
Absolutely.
When we come out of this interview segment, do you have a track number for me?
We could do track 2, Burden of Truth. Yeah, let's do that one.
Let's hear some Burden of Truth. You can pull these guys.
And actually,
up.
Billy wrote the lyrics to that.
Congratulations,
So,
Billy.
Can you tell us a little something about that, Billy?
He's like, I don't think so.
I was drunk.
I saw a bird, and the bird gave me inspiration.
It rhymes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. Well, sometimes that's
Was
that's
it a
been
red
missing.
bird, blue bird?
Yeah. That's a burden.
They're actually some of my
An
favorite.
owl.
Some of my favorite lyrics on the CD. Actually,
And
it's
then,
really
let's
cool.
talk about the tour. You guys kicked off your tour at the Granada on Saturday.
Yeah. In 3 weeks, we're going to be starting to go out of state, actually. But we're going to go to St. Louis. Then we're going to go to Nashville. Then we're going to come back to Missouri and go to Springfield. But then we're going to go to New Orleans, Memphis.
Ooh, congratulations!
That's one hell of a weekend.
Yeah, I know.
So is this over like the next months or the
a couple
few weeks?
months? But see, we're coming back to Kansas City. We're playing some dates here. We're doing like a VFW hall thing. Riot Room show.
What are you guys doing? And then on Thursday, you're going to be at Harley and Horses.
April 5th.
Thursday, April 5th at Harley's and Horses. Come out and see us. We're going to be playing with Green Music Brothers. I think there's going to be somebody else there, but it's going to be awesome. Come on out.
The website is
Yay.
AliceSweetAlice.com, Facebook.com/AliceSweetAlice. You can buy their stuff from Amazon, iTunes, everywhere. Guys, I can't thank you enough for stopping by the show.
Thanks for having me.
Very nice
Thank
to
you,
meet
guys.
you. And
Anytime.
next time you got any other news at all, getting ready to kick off the tour, stop by the Big Dumb Fun Show.
They
Let
have to
everyone
bring
know
us a
about it.
T-shirt.
Yes.
Here's Alice, Sweet Alice, on the Big Dumb